Good morning, class. For today, we will be revising your vocabulary from the first and the second week, and the next few lessons will be vocabulary lessons. Vocabulary revision lessons. So these were the vocabulary words from the first week, vocabulary from week 1. We have 5 words here. The first word was anarchist. An anarchist is a person that fights against the government, fights against authority, or fights against political power. So we have an example sentence here, and an anarchist is a noun. We have an example sentence here. The anarchist threw a brick through the window of City Hall in protest of the new law. So you can tell by the sentence, if you read the sentence, City Hall is like a government building. He threw a brick through the window of a government building to protest a new law. Why? Because he is an anarchist. He is somebody who fights against the government, authority, or political power. The second word was abhor, A-B-H-O-R, abhor. So the sentence we have here, Celine is a peaceful person. She abhors violence in all of its forms. Abhor means to hate deeply, or to see something with horror or disgust, or to regard something with horror or disgust. So if you are a peaceful person, then you very likely abhor violence. Or if you are a vegetarian, then you abhor eating meat. So abhor means to hate deeply, or to regard with horror or disgust. The next word we have is auspicious. Auspicious is a word that means it is characterized by success, it is favorable, or it is prosperous. Another word is fortunate or maybe lucky. These are other words for auspicious. Something successful, something favorable, something prosperous, or something lucky. I saw an eagle, the sentence we have, I saw an eagle fly over us while we were driving in the desert, an auspicious sign that we would have a good day. So if you see an eagle is typically a very rare bird to see. But if you see a very rare bird, or if you see something very rare, this is an auspicious sign, a favorable or a good sign, usually. Auspicious is characterized by success or prosper or favorable or lucky. The next word we have is contempt. Contempt means the offense of being disobedient or disrespectful in a court of law, or the feeling that someone is worthless or beneath consideration. So the sentence we have, Charles walked over the homeless person with contempt in his step. So contempt is like looking down at people, or thinking that somebody is worthless, is worth nothing. They have no value, and they are beneath considering. Or if we are talking from a legal or a law standpoint, it is the offense of being disobedient or disrespectful in a court of law. So you are disrespecting either people or disrespecting the law. The next word, insolence. Insolence means rude or disrespectful behavior. So interrupting somebody speaking is a major act of insolence. So if I'm speaking, or I'm giving a lesson, or a teacher is speaking or giving a lesson, and somebody stands up in the middle of the lesson and walks up to the teacher and taps the teacher on the back and asks them a question without raising their hand, this is insolent behavior. This is disrespectful behavior. They are acting with insolence. So insolence means rude or disrespectful behavior. The next words that we have here are going to be on the left here, and you'll see there's a red letter next to the words on the left that go with these letters on these definitions on the right. So you should have this revision sheet, and you can simply look at the word, look at the letter here, and read the definition here. If you want an example of how to use these words in a sentence, this page before has all of these words used in a sentence. So let's start with the first one, impassively. Impassively is I. It means no sign or feeling of emotion, or completely expressionless. It can also mean unaccepting or completely free of emotion, or apathetic. So, first sentence we have, after spending 10 hours at work, 3 hours in traffic, and 2.5 more hours cooking for her family, Farida impassively went to her room and slept. So can you imagine, after doing all of this very hard work, you are so tired, you just go without caring, you go with no emotions, you go with no expression, and you just. The next word, reverence. You can look here. H. Reverence is a deep respect for someone or something. To regard or treat something or someone with deep respect. So the sentence we have, a Buddhist monk has reverence for the teachings of the Buddha over any other teachings or laws of man. So reverence, he respects the teachings of Buddha, just like Muslims hold the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad in reverence over any other prophet, and the Quran in reverence over any other book. The next word, sententiously. Sententiously. Here's the letter E. Given to or abounding in. Okay, this word means to excessively moralize or to tell somebody too much what they are doing wrong or how they are doing something wrong. It is self-righteous. So I think that I am right, I am sententious. If I think that I am right and I'm telling you that I am right and you are wrong, then I am acting sententiously. So it is acting like self-righteous and saying that that whoever is being sententious is going overboard, is being overly too much about how they are correct and that you are not correct. So maybe your parents, if you do something wrong that they think is wrong, but you don't necessarily think is wrong, then they will act sententiously towards you. They will yell at you sententiously. So the sentence we have here, you shouldn't make that gesture. It's disrespectful and rude. Mr. Adham sententiously told Abdul Hamid. So sententiously means I am self-righteous, I am correct. You need to know that I am correct and what you are doing is wrong. Sententious. The next word, perverse. Here's the letter D. Contrary to the accepted or expected standard or practice, or willfully going against what is expected or desired. This is the word perverse. So going against what is expected or desired, mostly from society or from whatever. Finding men, the sentence we have, finding older men playing in a children's playground at night without any children is considered a highly unusual and perverse act. You would not expect to see men playing in a children's playground at night without children. This goes against what is accepted or expected of a standard or practice. And that will be all. I will continue these other words in the next lesson.